Have you ever heard of a monster so terrifying it had to be locked away in an inescapable maze? Well, get ready for a story of epic proportions, because today we're diving into the legend of Theseus and the Minotaur. Long ago, on the island of Crete, ruled the powerful King Minos. But beneath his magnificent palace lay a dark and twisted secret, the Labyrinth. This wasn't just any maze. It was a sprawling, confusing network of corridors designed by the genius inventor Daedalus. And at its heart lived the Minotaur, a fearsome creature with the body of a man and the head of a bull, with a horrifying appetite for human flesh. To appease this monster, King Minos imposed a cruel tribute on the city of Athens. Every 9 years, Athens was forced to send 7 of its finest young men and 7 of its most courageous maidens to be sacrificed, sent into the labyrinth, never to be seen again. This terrible cycle of despair cast a long shadow over the Athenian people. But one year a hero emerged. Theseus, the brave and determined son of King Aegeus of Athens, couldn't bear the thought of more innocent lives being lost. He volunteered himself as one of the tributes, vowing to his father and his people that he would face the Minotaur and end this reign of terror once and for all. He wasn't just going to be another victim. He was going to be the monster's final meal. When the Athenian ship arrived in Crete, the tributes were paraded before the royal family. It was then that the eyes of Princess Ariadne, King Minos's daughter, fell upon Theseus. She was immediately struck by his courage and noble spirit, and she fell deeply in love with him. She couldn't stand the thought of him perishing in the dark maze. That night, Ariadne secretly met with Theseus. She knew she couldn't fight the Minotaur for him, but she could give him a chance to survive what no one else had, the labyrinth itself. She handed him 2 crucial items, a sharp sword to fight the beast, and something deceptively simple, a ball of golden thread. "Unravel this as you go," she whispered, "and it will guide you back out." This simple thread would be his lifeline. With the sword in hand and the thread secured at the entrance, Theseus plunged into the cold, dark maw of the labyrinth. The air grew heavy, and the silence was broken only by the echo of his own footsteps and the distant, guttural roars of the beast. The walls seemed to shift and twist, designed to confuse and disorient anyone who dared to enter. But Theseus kept his wits about him, letting the golden thread unspool behind him, a shimmering path in the oppressive gloom. Finally, he reached the center of the maze. There it was, the Minotaur. It was larger and more monstrous than he could have imagined. With a thunderous bellow, the creature charged. The battle was ferocious. The Minotaur thrashed wildly, its horns slashing through the air, its powerful fists crashing against the stone walls. Theseus, quick and agile, dodged and weaved, using his intelligence as much as his strength. He parried the monster's attacks, looking for an opening. The clash of sword against horn and hide echoed through the maze. Then, seeing his moment, Theseus lunged forward with all his might. He drove his sword deep into the heart of the beast. With one final agonizing roar that shook the very foundations of the labyrinth, the Minotaur collapsed, defeated. The terror of Crete was no more. Now came the second challenge, escaping the maze that had claimed so many. Exhausted but triumphant, Theseus turned and began to follow the faint golden glimmer of Ariadne's thread. Winding it back up, he retraced his steps through the bewildering passages, the path to freedom clearly marked. He found the other Athenian tributes, huddled together in fear, and led them out of the darkness and into the daylight. They raced to their ship, and with Ariadne by his side, they set sail from Crete, leaving King Minos to his fury and his empty labyrinth. Theseus returned to Athens not as a sacrifice, but as a legendary hero. He was the man who had faced the impossible, outsmarted an inescapable maze, and slain the beast that haunted a nation. And so the story of Theseus lives on, a timeless tale of courage, love, and the idea that even in the darkest of mazes, a single thread of hope and a lot of bravery can lead you back into the light. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this journey into Greek mythology, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next adventure. See you in the next video.